What do we think the answer is? And I wish I had a whiz-bangy, pithy answer, but I have a slightly wonky one, but I think for this room it will be okay. And that is non-routine, non-tradable jobs. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue, I will admit, but I think this is the best framework for understanding the future of jobs in America. Ones that are inclusive of all folks, irrespective of educational achievement, and things that we can count on for providing a genuine middle-class lifestyle. So what am I talking about? What are these jobs? They span a huge breadth of things. You know, you have florists, you have teachers, you have nurses, mechanics, social workers, photographers, personal trainers. For those that have used Thumbtack or have played with it, you will see that many of these services are on Thumbtack, but certainly not all. So while this trend is certainly something that we look to and we think about, it's much broader than just Thumbtack. Nurses and healthcare workers are not something that we have on Thumbtack. Teachers, social workers, not something we have Thumbtack, but we believe they are fundamental to the future of work. And let me back this claim up. So this is a graph that shows what has happened to employment, whether these jobs are non-routine manual, non-routine cognitive, or routine cognitive, routine manual. The takeaway is that the routine jobs are shrinking, the non-routine jobs are growing. Another important takeaway is that this isn't a reflection of whether a job is cognitively demanding. In fact, you have high prestige jobs who are at risk of automation. The single biggest job type that is at risk of automation over the coming 10 years is accountants and bookkeepers. That's traditionally and rightfully thought as a cognitive task, a cognitive service. Another task that is at risk of automation are things like radiologists. Super high prestige, super high training, and yet things that, because they're very routine, are very susceptible for software systems to automate. Now, on the flip side, there are a lot of non-routine manual jobs. Think of your plumber. That is a manual job. Sometimes a dirty one, but always an important one. But it's non-routine, right? Your furnace is broken in a way that's very specific to you and your furnace, different than mine and my heater. That's why it takes a real professional to show up, diagnose the problem, and solve it for you. And that's why we pay these folks a good amount. So that's the non-routine aspect. It's also the non-tradable. That's really important. If a job can be done more efficiently or more cheaply overseas, you can assume it will end up overseas. That's not a normative statement. I'm not saying if it's good or bad. It's a factual statement. It will happen. The economic gravity is such that those jobs will be offshored. And so what does that leave? That's the non-routine, non-tradable jobs. That's what America has to work with.